In this lecture, we're going to be looking at checkerboard UV mapping. In UV mapping, we have a way of seeing how textures can be applied before we actually apply them. By using the checkerboard, we can see how faces are stretched so that we can then edit our layouts before exporting our objects. So, in Blender, I have my cube and I have my UV map. What we're going to do is we're going to look to apply a image texture that will be a checkerboard. So to do that, we're going to first of all unwrap our object. So we're going to go press tab, U, and I'm going to press smart UV unwrap. I'm just going to make very small island margins. Okay, and we zoom in, that looks about perfect. Excellent. Next, I'm going to go down to where it says new, which says create a new image. I'm going to name my new image UV grid. The next bit is very important. Go to generated type, click and select UV grid. Click OK, and we can actually see now, if we zoom out, that we have a checkerboard. If we press A to select everything, that we can now see our faces. So instead of the UV map being blank, it is now a checkerboard. This will allow us to see on our 3D viewport how textures are stretched and applied. Your basic aim is to make sure that the checkerboards, all the squares, are of a square shape instead of rectangular. That's basically what you're trying to accomplish. That will demonstrate that there is no real stretching. Now, to make this visible, even if we go into texture or material, we can't see the checkerboard. To do that, we're going to have to go into the node editor. Note that I'm currently using the Cycles render engine, and we're going to click use nodes, and we've got a material here. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go into texture view. I'm going to add texture, image texture. We're going to zoom in. I'm going to click here on this browse image to be linked option, and I'm going to select UV grid. And note straight away we've now got our checkerboard on our cube. We're just going to link that so it can be rendered that way. And there we go, we now have a checkerboard. Now, because of the fact that we're using a cube with equal length sides, the checkerboard pattern shows that it is currently perfect. That means that if we apply textures onto this cube, each face will be applied very, very well. There won't be any stretching involved. So there we go, that is how we can apply checkerboard patterns to our images. In the upcoming lectures, we will learn how we can use the checkerboard to mend images in terms of things such as stitching. So where we have seams and edges, we can see that these two faces, the cubes don't line up. We're going to learn in the upcoming lectures how we can line up these cubes. Thanks guys, and I will see you in the next lecture.